cryogenic trays have been processed, and our colonists are safe for now. We are all that's left of our world, our culture, our people.
From the interrogation, we learned that a frontier fleet patrolling the borders of a vast interstellar empire was dispatched to destroy our planet. The captain claimed our people violated a 4,000-year-old treaty forbidding us to develop hyperspace technology. Extermination of our planet was the consequence. The subject did not survive interrogation.
Hyperspace jump successful.
Scanner data indicates asteroid density is highest in this region. Commence resource gathering.
Well, hello guys, and welcome to episode 4 and mission 4 of Homeworld Remastered. Our main objective is just to collect resources in this one, so let's get that underway.
Resource controllers are available for construction. To improve the efficiency of collection, build one and position it near the asteroid vein.
Not sure how long our resource collectors are going to take to go backwards and forwards a couple of times.
Mothership.
To build the resource controller they are talking about, we're going to need 900 resource units, and we currently have 78. Both of these will hold 500, so it's going to be one travel backwards and forwards.
Confirmed.
I'll just let them get on with that, but let's have a little talk about the story, shall we? My god. So, our home, Karak, has been destroyed by bombs that caused a firestorm on the planet and wiped out basically our entire civilization. Now, that was down to the fact that we broke the 4,000-year-old treaty they were talking about with some major civilization somewhere else, you know, like, so we were apparently the subjects of someone else, but we, I guess, didn't know about it because you would think that would be a deterrent to create hyperspace technology, which they did anyway. So yeah, we're kind of in a bit of a predicament. We saved 200,000 people and that's all that we have left. So yeah, now we have to build a fleet in order to fight them, and meanwhile keep reproducing in the mothership in order to produce enough people to field that fleet, assuming that the colonists can actually fly spaceships. But there we go. I'm sure they get all the adequate training, and because it's this far in the future and we've developed hyperspace technology, you can probably just plug a chip in your brain that's going to teach you how to fly an interceptor or whatever. Or maybe they're even automated, you know? Maybe there isn't even a pilot in these, although it looks like there's a little cabin here. Somebody else was suggesting that I build more salvage corvettes now, because in the later missions, like after this one, or maybe even in this one, I'm not entirely sure, we'll come across frigates and capital ships like we did in the last mission, and we can't build them for a little while. So what might be useful to do is build salvage corvettes that can actually go and capture those for ourselves, and then we can build a big fleet early on that will really help us win the game. So yeah, like if I knew about the last mission before I played it, then I would have just been able to build a lot of salvage corvettes in the previous mission, but I didn't, and therefore I didn't have enough salvage corvettes to just capture the entire assault frigate team in the last mission, and so we're just going to have to wait for these resource collectors to come back to build our own, because I think that is what the purpose of this particular mission is. We need to research this capital ship chassis, And we also need to build a resource controller. I think that's our main objective. Actually, that's a secondary objective. First of all, we'll work on our resource collectors, going backwards and forwards and collecting us some resource units. So they are nearly back. We can think about creating a resource controller, or even more resource collectors. Might be better off building a third resource collector first. Not entirely sure. No hostiles on the map just yet. But let's see what happens. There's the first lot dropped off. The second lot will be arriving shortly. Nice. So do we invest that in a resource controller? Maybe. I think we have bigger things to worry about.
Long-range sensors indicate a mothership-class mass signature. It's coming in fast. Power readings are off the scale. Full combat alert. Stand by for contact.
Ambassador away.
Trajectory locked in. Hailing signal open on all channels. Entering magnetic field now. Almost there. Fleet, we've lost guidance and are being drawn in. A lot of lights. There seems to be some kind of activity inside. I can see.
We are the Bentusi, and welcome you on space-faring cultures, beyond bound. The outer rim trade routes were established for the first time by our ancestors. The resources you collect are of value to the Bentusi exchange. They will serve as an acceptable medium for trade. It has been our custom to equip trading partners with an exchange unit. It has therefore been provided to your ambassador as a gesture of goodwill.
Fleet, this is Ambassador. We are clear of the Bentusi vessel. All systems green. Harbor Control has released guidance and the exchange unit is secure. Receiving crews. Prep the quarantine chamber.
Roger that. Quarantine standing by.
Bentusi trading link established.
Well then. That was unexpected. The Bentusi exchange. Interesting. A rather large ship that kind of popped out of nowhere. So anyway, let's get on with building this resource controller. And then once the resource collectors come back, we might actually invest in another resource collector. But until then, let's see what this Bentusi exchange is about. Oh, if I click on it, it actually comes up with a trade offer. And is offering us a plasma bomb launcher. This weapon discharges orbs of superheated plasma that are devastating against the hardened armor of capital ships. So, I'm assuming that will upgrade our ships. I'm guessing it would be good to accept it, so I'm just going to do that.
Tyrannic raiders, servants of the Tydam, are arriving. They must not learn of our contact. We must depart. All that moves is easily heard in the void. We will listen system for you. Farewell.
So the Taidan are coming, and they made a run for it. So who's the Taidan? I'm assuming, like, I know the nations of Homeworld, and the Taidan are one of them, and I'm assuming they are the big nation that originally destroyed our planet. Because there would be no other reason why the Bentusi would have to flee. Let's get this resource controller built sooner than later, and we can get some more resource units in our hands, and we can actually start working on the capital ship chassis. Yeah. I think we're in for a bad time, guys. But these next resources should give us access to the resource controller, and then we can see what we need from there. I'll possibly build some more salvage corvettes.
Construction underway.
Build another couple. We need 2 to capture frigates. I would assume it's 3 or 4 to capture capital ships. Probably 4.
Resource controller complete.
To increase harvesting efficiency, move your resource controller as close to heavy resource areas as possible.
Salvage corvette complete.
Reporting.
So this is our resource controller. What this does is allow our resource collectors to dock at it and drop off their resources closer to their resource collection point. We shall send it to these asteroids as soon as we can.
Moving to destination.
Tyrannic Raider fighters are attacking. Prepare for more hostile ships to arrive.
So we have fighters we have to deal with. Let's go take them out.
Show no mercy.
Salvage corvette complete.
Reporting.
We have our light corvettes here. Let's go move them in.
Show no mercy. Ready.
Oh my, are they going for my resource collectors? That would be pretty bad. These are Tyrannic Raiders. Oh dear.
Cluster 6. Group 1 copies. Supporting friendly units. Drawing light fire. Standing by.
Group 1 reinforced.
Well, let's finish off with this group.
Collector under attack. Ready.
Can actually get these light corvettes to go
Group 1
help out
Course set. Moving to intercept.
my resource collectors.
Collector under attack. Standing by. Group 1 copies.
Let's build some more light corvettes.
Mothership.
Assembly
I'm not
underway.
sure if we have enough resources to actually do that.
Roger.
I don't need to lose a resource collector right now. That would be really, really bad. Missile corvettes coming in. We can produce attack bombers, actually. They aren't good against these corvettes, though, so that's kind of useless. Do we have anything that's good against corvettes? I don't think so. We're just going to have to build more interceptors then.
Berths are clear. Confirmed.
Interceptor complete.
See if we can get this interceptor back.
Mothership.
Weapons set to full power. Reporting. Underway.
Make sure my mothership can actually fire.
Mothership.
Am I losing any units? It doesn't look like it. They're just heavily focusing on my resource collectors. Which is both a good and a bad thing. If they destroy one, then it's a very, very bad thing. If they don't, then it's actually a good thing. Because I can kill them all off before they've destroyed it. Hopefully. At least that's the plan. Can my resource collector fire? I hope so.
Standing by. Weapons set to full power. Confirmed.
I don't think it has any attack value.
Acknowledged.
No, it doesn't.
Reporting. Roger. Resource operation reporting enemy contact. Docking underway. Roger. Standing by. Copy. Group 1 reporting.
So my light corvette's doing really well actually. They haven't taken any damage yet, and they seem to be dealing with these units reasonably well. Let's build a couple more light corvettes actually. I think they'll be more effective at taking out other corvettes than the interceptors are. Unless the missile corvettes are good at taking out light corvettes, in which case it's a bad idea.
Light corvette complete.
Copy. Standing by. This is looking good. Stay tight.
Looks like this resource collector is actually repairing.
Several Tyrannic Raider capital ships have just emerged from hyperspace near the mothership.
Roger.
Oh dear.
Watch your six.
Light corvette complete.
What's this? An ion array frigate. Let's try and capture it. We've got 4 salvage corvettes there.
Attack coordinates locked in. Confirmed. This is looking good. Stay tight.
It's a frigate, so we might only need 2 salvage corvettes. Yeah, we only need 2. Let's try and salvage another one.
Group 1 has defeated the enemy.
Pursuing targets.
We're going to need to get these guys back to help out our mothership, I think. The corvettes can deal with that missile corvette there.
Acknowledged.
I wish you could select like damaged units
Under
specifically.
fire. Requesting orders. Copy. Roger. Coming into dock. Standing by.
And the ship's currently being hit pretty hard.
Ready.
And we captured that one. Let's go and capture another one.
Reporting.
Mothership.
Let's not capture the one that's being attacked. Capture the other one. And we can try and buy another couple of
Ready for orders. Group 1 standing by. Ready.
units if we need to, like another couple of salvage corvettes would be good.
Attack vector laid in.
Mothership.
So we caught that one. Let's tell all my ships
Group
to
1
stand
reports
down.
Enemy contact.
Dock order
We can capture the last one. So we just captured 2 ion cannon frigates,
Order confirmed. New heading set. Dock
or
order
iron
confirmed.
array frigates, should I say.
Ready. Dock order
The
confirmed.
rest of the units to go into the mothership. Brilliant.
Copy.
So as you can see, we just captured this ion array frigate. That's going to save us a lot of resources, actually. I'm sorry I got rid of all the explosions in order to do that, but I think it was definitely worth it. Look at this beast that we just got our hands on.
Mothership.
Defensive perimeter set. Roger.
Enemy frigate captured.
Bravo. Doing rather well right now. My resource collectors are fully repaired, I would assume.
Acknowledged.
Yes, they are. Oh, this one that's currently on the resource controller is nearly full health again. It's good this thing can actually heal them up. Stop them from dying. So we captured 4 of those frigates. We destroyed 1,
Mission accomplished. Standing by.
I think. Either way, really, really good that we got our hands on some of these frigates. Look at that.
Confirmed.
We have quite a fleet now. However many interceptors this is.
Ready. Standing by. Confirmed.
Group 1 reinforced.
Plus the small squadron of light
Group 2
corvettes.
reinforced.
We have the
Reporting.
salvage
Group 3
corvettes. Let's
designated.
fix up that
Coming into
one
dock.
because it's a bit low on health. And then we have 4 ion array frigates. Cool.
Acknowledged.
So I'm assuming it expected us to have to fight for a bit longer. But instead we just captured them all. Now because that worked so well, I'm tempted to invest in a couple more
Construction underway.
salvage corvettes before we work on the capital ship chassis. We also might want to get the heavy corvette upgrade, so we can produce some more of our own ships. The heavy corvettes, I guess, would give us missile corvettes or something like that. I'm not too familiar with the Kushan technology.
Salvage corvette complete.
But we'll have 6 salvage corvettes to work with. Got another 1,000 resources arriving. Well, one's just dropped off, another one's dropping soon.
Standing by.
There's a lot of resources there to take for ourselves. I think we should probably invest in more resource collectors, actually.
Assembly underway.
Build ourselves quite a fleet.
Salvage corvette complete.
Confirmed.
Group 3 reinforced.
So what's supposed to happen next? We've protected the fleet against the ion array frigates by capturing them, which is good.
Confirmed.
We'll have another resource collector soon. Should speed up our resource unit collection.
Research complete. New frigates available for construction.
Let's just stop the heavy corvette upgrade for a while until we actually complete the resource collector, and then we can start
Resource
it again.
collector complete.
Acknowledged.
We'll send that off to collect us some more resources.
Resources. Research paused.
Resources locked in.
There is 481,000 resource units there. Wow. That's a lot of resource units that I'd like to get my hands on.
Mothership.
So maybe even a 4th resource collector would be useful, especially considering we've captured these ion array frigates. We don't need to waste the money on actually producing our own. We can just produce more resource collectors.
Construction underway.
But either way, we can now create an assault frigate, which is good against corvettes and frigates. It's weak against bombers and capital ships. All frigates are very weak against bombers, so that's normal. But weak against capital ships as well. It's quite a bad thing to have, because they will get eaten alive once they come across the big ships. It seems that they are good against the corvettes that would shoot down my interceptors. So an interceptor and assault frigate combination would be pretty useful for taking out small forces of other fighters and corvettes. So like the missile corvettes, for example, that they were using would be really easy to take out with the assault frigates. And this support frigate here
resources.
is used to just repair fighters, I think. And I guess like corvettes as well, or corvettes in general. Not sure if other frigates can dock on the support frigate. I don't think they can. Another resource collector nearly done.
Resource collector
There
complete.
we go.
Research complete. New corvettes available for construction.
We'll keep this mining underway until something happens.
Resource collector complete.
So it seems that we have some more ships on the horizon. I'm going to send over my salvage corvettes to see what's going on
Green line confirmed.
and see if we can
Destination.
capture
Ready.
them. I'm going to make sure my interceptors cause like a screen so that my salvage corvettes can do their work.
Standing by. Confirmed.
So I'm just going to
Group
make
one
all of
copies.
my units
Group
passive,
1 under attack.
Stand down. We're on hold. Attack
and
vector
we
labeled.
can see what we can do. Now
Green
what's
line
this?
confirmed.
Tyrannic Raider Mothership. Ah, that's where all of these units are coming from.
New heading set.
So we'll distract the ion array frigates with my interceptors. Make sure they just continue to fly around so they don't get hit by the ion frigates.
The Raider carrier has been located. It is reinforcing their squadrons of fighters and corvettes.
En route. Moving to destination.
We can just capture them. So we captured one, let's capture the second. It's causing a distraction. Can we even capture this carrier? That would be awesome as well. Not sure if we can. Either way, it might be worth just letting that build more ion array frigates so we can capture more. We can just continue our resource efforts in the meantime.
Mothership.
Another resource collector here that we can send to help out.
Assembly underway.
We'll build another one, or another two even. We have a lot of resources, and if we just keep an eye on this carrier, we can see if it pops out any more units, and if it does, we can take advantage of that. In the meantime, I'm just going to lower my units back to my mothership. We're going to build a scout, and what I'll do is send that up to the top asteroid here so we can see what's going on.
Copy.
So what I'll do now is just continue to capture any ships that I see, and then I will continue my resource operations, and finally we can think about maybe capturing the carrier or just destroying it with all the ion array frigates that we have captured. So as you can see, guys, I have been working on my fleet. I've actually capped out on everything I could build. Don't worry, you haven't missed anything. There hasn't been any combat. It's literally just been me collecting a ton of resources, building loads of resource collectors and resource controllers in order to give me all the resource units you can see coming in at the top, which allow me to build this massive fleet. That is the entire idea of this mission, I believe. So as you can see, I've maxed out on interceptors and bombers. I've got a few scouts in there that we might need later on. I've got some more light corvettes, some heavy corvettes. These are different to the light corvettes in that they have better armaments. So the light corvettes you can see here, they just have this one tiny cannon underneath. A heavy corvette has two cannons, so they're a bit better off, and they're good against corvettes and fighters, so that's what they're good for. If we look at our assault frigates, you can see that these are just good for destroying enemy corvettes and so on, and they have the 4 cannons around the front. There's one on each side, as you can see. I'm not sure if these things here fire out anything, maybe some missiles. Then we've got our support frigates. These are used to repair things, so yep, they should come in handy. Then of course we have our research ship here, which I've actually been adding modules to. As you can see, look, I'm adding another research module now.
Construction underway.
And I'm going to be continuing to do that until we have a fully built research ship. And what this will enable in later missions is us to research everything we need to a lot quicker, because each hub we have will give us the ability to research another technology at the same time. So currently we can research 4 at the same time. We're going to be able to do 5 and then 6 once it's fully built, so that will be really useful.
Confirmed.
And now the only time that would ever change is if the research ship actually got destroyed, but the research ship does have a lot of health.
Standing by.
So anyway, these are ion array frigates. We can soon use them to take out the enemy's carrier, and that's what we will be working on now. So let's go ahead and get our fleet into position. What I can do now as well is put all of these guys into a massive fleet and use a fleet formation that you can see in the bottom left. So if we move all of these units together, we can see what those look like. So get all our attack bombers forwards, all our interceptors forwards. I'm going to leave my scouts here and my salvage corvettes, because the salvage corvettes can't be used to capture the carrier. If I was hovering over that on anything else, then you would see the capture icon, but in this case you can't, so we've got to destroy it. we can get our support frigates in there, and of course our ion array frigates.
Move order confirmed. Standing by.
If we zoom in, that's a lot of ships. We're going to war, guys. But first of all, we have to take out this carrier.
Acknowledge.
Meanwhile, all of these units will be collecting resources.
Acknowledged.
So as soon as these ion array frigates get over here,
Confirmed.
I'm going to select all of these guys and make them into one big
Reporting.
strike force.
Berths are clear.
So let's go ahead and do that.
Ready.
Just get rid of these guys. There we go, and we'll make them into a strike force.
New formation acknowledged.
So I'm not sure quite what this one looks like. It seems that the frigates sit at the front, and the fighters and corvettes behind. Looks a bit strange, to be honest. We need to
Acknowledged. New formation acknowledged. New
change these
formation
formations. Let's have a look at the other
Formation
ones.
acknowledged.
What does that one do? That one has like a wall of fighters behind. Interesting. What about this one?
Formation acknowledged.
This one just has a line of fighters. I think I prefer that one. All my frigates coming out in front. Now let's use this formation, and we shall attack
Strike group prepare for assault.
this carrier. So it should die very, very quickly with the amount of forces heading toward it. And what I'm going to do amongst this is select all my interceptors, make them group 1. All my bombers will be group 2.
Group 2 assigned.
Light corvettes, if I can find any,
Roger.
can be group 3.
Group 3 assigned.
Heavy corvettes,
Roger. Reported.
group 4.
Group 4 designated.
Assault
Copy.
frigates, group 5.
Group 5 designated.
Ion array
Roger.
frigates,
Acknowledged.
group 6.
Group 6 designated.
And finally,
Standing by.
support frigates
Ready.
can be group 7.
Group 7 designated.
Acknowledged.
Now I'm not sure why my forces are firing at my own troops. That's kind of weird.
Group 3 reports enemy contact.
Not anymore though. This carrier is now being attacked. It seems, yeah, the light corvettes are firing at this ion array frigate. I think that's a little bit bugged.
The carrier is retreating. If it escapes, that will warn the Taidan fleet of our pursuit. Do not allow them to hyperspace.
Yeah, I think they're already dead.
Enemy attack.
Group 6 reports victory.
Group 1 standing by. Ready. Strike group coordinates locked in.
Bravo. We have won.
The Tyrannic Raiders have been defeated. We can now return to our immediate goal, preparation for an attack on the Taidan fleet that devastated Karak. Using data from the Taidan vessel captured at Karak, we have been able to determine their location. If we strike now, we can take advantage of their damaged condition. Hyperspace coordinates have been transferred to Fleet Command.
And that is the end of our mission here. But before I leave, I'm going to suck all these resources dry. And then we can click this wonderful
Reporting.
hyperspace button. So guys, I've been sitting here for about an hour collecting resources, and I haven't actually collected them all, even though I have the maximum amount of resource collectors I can have. So I've decided to basically just move straight on to the next mission. I currently have 156,000 resource units, which I think is more than I'll ever need for the entire campaign, which I think is rather strange. No idea how that is balanced or how that's going to affect us in the next missions. Maybe we do need that much, I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, there's still 300,000 to collect. Like, how am I supposed to sit here for like 3 hours and just collect it all? I don't know. I think in Homeworld Remastered I was reading some other like posts on forums and stuff, and I think that it actually auto collects some resources for you at the end of the mission anyway, so maybe I'll get my hands on this. I don't know. Anyway, I'm not going to be spending any longer recording this because yeah, I've been sitting here for about 2 hours in this mission. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next mission. Goodbye.
At ease.